Thank you. The gentlewoman from Michigan, Ms. Tlaib, is now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman. You know, Mr. Ray, I really appreciate you coming here. You know, one of the things that kind of stood out for me is how much FTX spent on celebrity endorsements and arena naming rights, really targeting residents like myself and others, in my community. Naming rights of the Miami Heat arena, I think you all spent like $135 million. NFT partnerships with the Golden State Warriors and Washington Capitals. I think $210 million sponsorship of the Mercedes. I don't know, it's some little long line here. Endorsements and ads with Tom Brady, Naomi, Stephen Curry, Larry David. It goes on and on. Do you know the total amount of FTX, how much they spent on sport endorsements and arena naming rights?
We don't have a full tally of that because it's just an accumulation of data.
Do you know if you all spent more on FTX versus FTX.us?
I don't have a breakdown for you, and I can't tell you how much was paid in crypto versus cash.
When you all ran that TV during the Super Bowl, I think you doubled the number of U.S. users. Is that true?
I don't have data on that.
Do you think it's financially responsible to be spending hundreds of millions of dollars on these kinds of sponsorships and quote unquote partnerships while they were unable to cover the customer deposits?
No.
Personally, it sounds a lot like Houston Astros playing at Enron Park. I represent the third poorest congressional district, Mr. Ray. This really impacts everyday folks like my residents who were really targeted by a lot of those ads. The crypto industry has spent millions on this marketing, and one of the things I read, which was really taken aback, and I know Madam Chair might have heard, but the Ontario teachers' pension had to write off $95 million. These are teachers. And the consequences of the crypto collapse on everyday people is something that doesn't get discussed enough, and understanding why accountability and oversight is important. That's why I really appreciate the chairwoman doing this hearing. The idea that cryptocurrency can be a solution for financial inclusion is not only laughable, it's dangerous, Mr. Ray. These get quick rich kind of ads and targeting my residents, it is predatory. And quote my friend Senator Warren, it's bullshit. And let me talk about that BS a little bit. The role of exchange tokens in the crypto industry's business model, it's reported that Media held billions in illiquid FTT, and then FTTX's own exchange token. Meanwhile, FTX's own website stated that FTT was the backbone of FTX's ecosystem. I know, you're rolling your eyes. I don't know if anybody can see it. But the price of FTT traded in the high 70s over the summer, but by the start of November, it hovered, I think, around $20, and then the collapse in value triggered a so-called bank run-like situation. And then right now, FTT is, I think, valued at just over $1 per token. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Clearly, FTX had an interest in inflating the value of their own token and it seems in hindsight that FTX was being propped up by monopoly money. Is that correct?
There may be a pattern there, yes.
Mr. Ray, have you discussed in length how FTX.com is siloed from FTX.us and FTX.us users?
Well, structurally they are. They do share a common environment, the AWS system.
Can FTX.us, users though, could they trade with FTT? Is that?
On their particular exchange, which would be the FTX.us exchange, yes.
So can you describe how FTT's collapse in value has affected FTX.us silo and how it's affected U.S. customers' residents' ability to recover their funds?
We don't have a full accounting of what crypto assets are within each silo that back up those customer accounts, and we need to accumulate the full value of the collateral, and then we'll obviously look at what type of crypto is there, and that'll be an exercise we'll have to go through.
Can you explain this whole thing around FTX's overall reliance on digital token that they control, mint, and have vested interest in manipulating the value of? That's something that I hope we dig deeper into.
You know, I've seen stories about that and I've read quite a bit about it. I mean, we have not done a full investigation into what was going on in the marketplace relative to the various tokens. I know that's of particular interest to the regulatory community. You know, some of this may have played into what happened in terms of the downfall of FTX and other crypto companies. So it's certainly something we're going to investigate.
Thank you.